This right here is Timemore's newest coffee scale, the Timemore Black Mirror Mini. It's actually the smallest footprint coffee scale that Timemore has ever produced. And stay tuned all the way to the end of this video, where we will introduce you a tool that you could pair with your existing coffee scale, and it will fit right under almost every espresso machine. So let's go. So right here we have with me the Timemore Mini. Let's just first discuss about the price. For $69 US, you can get yourself a Timemore Mini. So that price, it's pretty good. It's actually just $10 more compared to your basic. And for that amount of price, you have all the features that you can find in the basic and even in the nano scale. And this is actually, in fact, the thinnest coffee scale that Timemore has ever made. Let's discuss about the size and dimension. It's 10 millimeters in length, it's 14 or 114 millimeters in distance, and its height, guess what guys, it's only 15.8 millimeters. Right here I have with me the nano, and let's just take away the silicone tab, that way we can compare. If you look at just the height of the mini, it's way thinner, right, when compared to the nano. It's at least about 2 cm, so that's a huge difference for those of you who want to fit the scale under any coffee machine, right? The clearance is low, and so that difference is huge. And guess what, it's a lot cheaper than this. I think this retails at about 80 ringgit, $80, right? This is about 69, or this is actually 80 to $90, right? So really small in size, and it can last up to 20 hours. It's also IPX3 water resistant certified, in that it's covered by the charging cable. You have your on-off switch, and let's look at the functions that we have for this scale. Right here, you have the weight, you have the flow rate, and then you have the time. This scale right here has 3 different modes. We're currently in the regular mode. Regular mode is basically just like any other mode. You put something on it, you tear it by pressing the power button, you start the timer by pressing the timer button, you stop it, and then you long press it, and it will reset back to 0, right? Very basic, very simple. And let's discuss about the espresso mode. So in order for you to change mode, you have to hit the timer button 5 times consecutively. Once you see ESP, you know that you're in espresso mode. Now, what espresso mode does is, let's assume that this is our tray or a cup that we catch espresso. Once I put this on the scale, it will automatically tear out the scale. So you can see the scale, it's now teared, and the timer would start running as soon as it detects espresso flowing down. So let's assume that this is the espresso, and it's coming down, right? You can see right now the timer is going on, and if I stop pouring, you can see at 10 seconds, I'll just stop. You can see the timer stops, it tells you the weight, it tells you the time, and you're good to go. But we don't really use this mode very often. If you take it off, you can see it resets again, right? The only downside is we don't really use this mode very often, as we think it's not the best way to measure time, because time for espresso should be by the time you turn on or press the button or water starts hitting the pot. That's where the time should start. But this starts when the water hits the cup, right? So the espresso hits the cup, or the espresso comes up. So it's slightly different in methodology, but at least you get that espresso mode, right? For those of you who like to see those espresso mode in it. Now let's talk about a pour-over mode. So if you hit another 5 times, you're in the pour-over mode. To know that you're in the pour-over mode, you have the A right here, which just means it's auto. I'm not sure why auto, but it's the pour-over mode. So in order for you to activate the pour-over mode, what you want to do is assume this is my decanter, right? I would have to press the timer button once. You could see the countdown to 0 from 3, and now let's assume that I'm doing my pour over, right? The timer would now start, right? So it would start, and guess what? You guys might be asking me the same question again. Does it stop, right? So let's assume I stop pouring, and you can see the timer is actually still running. Okay guys, so I've just tested it again on the pour over mode. Actually, the pour over mode, it does stop the timer, but only until if the time past 30 seconds. So you have to let the timer go all the way to 30 seconds, and then once it's past 30 seconds, if you lift up anything on the pour over mode, the timer would stop. So yep, that's the pour over mode for you. Let's go back into the video. Another thing that I forgot to mention right here is this scale, you are able to change units to ounces too. For those of you who are in the States, you love your ounces, just hit this button multiple times and you see the ounce unit appear. When the ounce unit appear means it's in ounces. When you don't see the ounce, it's gone, right? Now, if you do not like the sound of it, press this for about 10 seconds, you would see the icon disappear, and now you don't have it anymore, right? So, pretty simple. Now, your question would be, does this fit under my espresso machine? Well, let's go and take a look at the espresso machine. Okay, I'm back. So this U-rack right here is actually what is working for us if we use any coffee scale. Reason being, you could fit this and put your scale underneath your put your scale underneath this U plate, and you could adjust the height here to however, right, whatever your clearance is for your catch tray. And there you go, put the cup on top. You could use almost any espresso machine now, unless your espresso doesn't have a leg clearance on the bottom. So this tool right here, I'll just link it down in the description below. All the products that you see today are all links are all down in the description below. It's about like $30. You can buy it, and you know, this really helps us out, especially at pop-up events. So in conclusion, what do you think about this Timemore scale? Would you buy it? I would say it's definitely a go-to. It will be our coffee choice, scale of choice for this year. And we've also done a video on the comparison between the basic 2.0 and this coffee scale mini. So if you want to check it out, click here, and I'll see you over there. Bye.